everybody thought of me. Changed my clothes 3 times before dinner, trying to be what they wanted to see. Spending years chasing approval, like it was some kind of prize. Then one day I woke up laughing and saw through the disguise. Now if somebody likes me, well, that's mighty kind. If they don't, that's alright too. I've got better things on my mind. 'Cause peace shows up the moment you stop trying to impress people who weren't gonna clap anyway. No matter your success, the older I get, the less I care about the noise that's everywhere, the gossip, the opinions, the endless little games. The older I get, the less I care. And Lord, it feels so good to finally be myself, the way I always should. I got less worry, more freedom, less pressure in the air. The older I get, the less I care. I wear old boots to fancy dinners, if they're comfortable enough. I sing too loud in traffic, and I laugh when life gets rough. I stopped chasing perfection somewhere around 63. Turns out imperfect people are the best company. The world's got plenty critics, always ready to complain. But I didn't come this far to live inside their brains. The older I get, the more I see the only voice that really matters is the one inside of me. The older I get, the less I care about the noise that's everywhere, the gossip, the opinions, the endless little games. The older I get, the less I care. And Lord, it feels so good to finally be myself, the way I always should. I've got less worry, more freedom, less pressure in the air. The older I get, the less I care. I still care about kindness, I still care about love, I still care about family and the stars above. I still care about music, watching sunsets fall. I just stopped caring about things that don't matter at all. Less stress, less drama, less nonsense. More living, less proving, more being. That's my kind of freedom. The older I get, the less I care about fitting in the crowd. I'd rather stand right where I am and sing a little louder now. The older I get, the less I care, and that's a beautiful thing. Oh, because the weight I used to carry no longer rides with me. Oh, I've got more laughter, more sunshine, more stories left to share. The older I get, the less I care. And the happier I am. The night breeze drifted softly across the porch swing chain. I sat there smiling quietly, listening to the rain. And for the first time in a long while, nothing needed to be fixed, nothing needed explaining, nothing needed proving, just life wife and me, getting along just fine.
I fell in love a few times back when I was young. Some love stayed forever, some disappeared with the sun. But these days I've discovered a different kind of romance, one that's been right here beside me, given half a chance. It's in the morning light, breaking through my window pane. It's in the smell of fresh coffee and the sound of summer rain. Funny how the years go by and teach your heart to see the greatest love story of all might be the one with life itself. I'm still falling in love with life, still getting butterflies when the sky turns gold at sunset or a full moon fills the night. I'm still falling in love with life, like I did when I was young. Only now I notice beauty in places I once rushed past. Every day gives me another reason to smile and believe. I'm still falling in love with life, and life keeps falling back for me. A little girl waved at me from the back seat of a car, like we'd been friends forever, though we never got that far. An old song on the radio took me back in time and somehow made this very moment feel even more alive. The less I need grand things, 'cause happiness hides quietly inside. feeling of a new beginning when you thought you'd reach the end. Because after all these years, my heart still skips a beat for this beautiful world.
Went back to my hometown for a reunion last July. Saw the old football captain still talking about that winning night. He pointed at the trophy case like it happened yesterday. I smiled and said, "That's wonderful." Then quietly you walked away. 'Cause I got nothing against memories. Lord knows I've got a few, but I don't want to spend my whole life living in what I used to do. Some people keep looking backward, trying to relive their glory days. Me, I'm too busy making new ones to stay stuck that way. I didn't peak in high school, thank God for that. If the best years were behind me, well, that'd be pretty sad. I didn't peak in high school, not even close, my friend. Life kept getting better around every bend. The older I get, the more I see the best chapters of my story might still be ahead of me. At 17 I had big dreams, but I didn't have a clue about the places I'd discover or the things I'd make it through. I hadn't met my best friends yet, hadn't heard my favorite song, hadn't watched a sunset that would stay with me lifelong. The truth is every decade brought gifts I couldn't see. Back when I thought adulthood was something happening to me, turns out growing older wasn't losing anything. It was gaining perspective and 1,000 little things. I didn't peak in high school, thank God for that. If the best years were behind me, well, that'd be pretty sad. I didn't peak in high school, not even close, my friend. Life kept getting better around every bend. Oh, the older I get, the more
just right of mine. 'Cause every wrinkle earned a lesson, every gray hair earned a tale. And honestly, I kinda like the man who came out of it all. 17 was good, 30 was better, 40 was stronger, 50 was wiser, 60 was freer. And I'm not finished yet. I grew still. I climbed into my pickup and headed toward the hills. The radio played softly as the highway lights rolled by, and I couldn't help but laugh at a simple thought. The best years of my life keep showing up later than expected. Friday night at Murphy's bar, same stool I've known for years. The bartender poured my usual and said, "How things been, my friend?" I said, "Pretty good, all things considered. Still breathing, still getting by. And I've got 3 new ridiculous plans that might just change my life." He laughed and shook his head like he always does, 'cause every month I show up with some new impossible buzz. Some folks collect regrets, some folks collect old scars. Me, I collect crazy ideas and conversations at bars. Whiskey, wisdom, and wild ideas, that's what keeps me young. A little life experience and a little harmless fun. Whoa, whiskey, wisdom, and wild ideas still burning in my soul. The older I get, the more I learn. You don't have to stop chasing gold just because you're growing old. Last year I almost bought a sailboat. Never learned a thing about sailing. Thought about opening a blues club somewhere down in New Orleans. Started learning Spanish online for a trip I hadn't planned. My granddaughter called me crazy. I said thank you, that's exactly who I am. 'Cause every good adventure starts with a questionable plan, and every great story begins with someone saying, "You can't." The world's still full of mysteries, and I still want
little harmless fun. Oh, whiskey, wisdom, and wild ideas still burning in my soul. The older I get, the more I learn. You don't have to stop chasing gold just because you're growing old. I know someday I'll slow down, but today is not that day. I've still got dreams scribbled on napkins and maps put away. The future still excites me like it did when I was 22. Only now I've got better stories and better whiskey too. One more idea, one more road, one more laugh before I go. One more dream, one more plan. That's still the way I chase another sunrise. Whiskey, whiskey, wisdom, and wild ideas. The perfect recipe for a life that's still excited and a heart that's still free. I got enough wisdom there to know life moves fast, and enough wild ideas to make every moment last. Whiskey, wisdom, and wild ideas. That's the life for me. Locked the front door, the neon sign burned low. I finished off my whiskey and stood up slow, then pulled a folded napkin out of my jacket pocket with 3 brand new crazy ideas written on the back of it, and smiled because tomorrow was already looking interesting.
Phone rang on a Tuesday. My old friend said, "You busy?" I said, "Depends who's asking." He laughed and said, "That's risky." I found a little cabin way up in Tennessee. No plans, no reservations, just the road, you and me. I looked around my kitchen at everything I could have done, then grabbed my keys and answered, "Well, that sounds like fun." Some people need a reason, some people need a sign. I just need a little spark and a little bit of time. I still say yes to adventure, yes to roads I've never seen, yes to stories waiting somewhere just beyond my routine. I still say yes to adventure, and that's why life stays new. Every time I open that door, the world gives me a different view. I still say yes to adventure, and adventure still says yes to me. I've slept beneath desert skies and danced in tiny bars, missed a few turns on purpose just to see where they were. I've eaten food I couldn't pronounce, met strangers who became friends, and learned the best memories rarely happen according to plans. The funny thing about living is something I found true. The more often you say yes, the more life surprises you. The map gets bigger somehow every year that passes by. Not because the world is growing, but because I keep opening my eyes. I still say yes to adventure. Yes to roads I've never seen. Yes to stories waiting somewhere just beyond my routine. I still say yes to adventure, and that's why life stays new. Every time I open that door, the world gives me a different view. I still say yes to adventure, and adventure still says yes to me. One day I might slow down, but today ain't that day. I've still got curiosity leading me away toward mountain roads, ocean tides, little towns at night, and all the unexpected moments that make this life worth a while. Say yes to the road, say yes to the unknown, say yes to one more chance before the music's gone. That's not done yet. I still say yes to adventure, because I finally learned the biggest risk in living is never taking your turn. The years may keep on passing, but my spirit still runs free. I still say yes to adventure, and that's exactly who I'll be. The highway lights were fading, stars took over the sky. The radio played an old soul song as midnight rolled by. I smiled behind the wheel at the miles still left to see, and somewhere in the darkness the next adventure was already looking for me.
Called me sir the other day, then asked if I qualified for some senior discount plan. I laughed and said maybe, but don't let the gray fool you. I've still got a few crazy ideas that I'm determined to see through. I've got a map on my kitchen table with circles drawn in red, places I've never been, still dancing around in my head. The calendar keeps talking, but I don't believe every word, 'cause my soul still wakes up every morning like it's got something to prove. I'm too young to be old,
stay home while there's still a whole world around. I'm too young to be old, at least inside my mind. The years may have changed my face, but they never changed my fire. I'm too young to be old. Last month I bought a new guitar. Didn't need it, truth be told, but it made me smile so wide I couldn't leave it at the store. My friends all shook their heads, said, man, you'll never change. I raised my glass and answered, that's kind of been the plan. 'Cause every time I stop dreaming, a little piece of me gets lost. And I've come way too far to pay that kind of cost. The world is still amazing, and I still wanna see what tomorrow's got hidden, waiting somewhere for me. I'm too young to be old, too alive to slow down, too curious to stay home while there's still a whole world around. I'm too young to be old, at least inside my mind. The years may have changed my face, but they never changed my fire. I'm too young to be old. And old people half my age, already tired and worn, waiting for the weekend like life became a chore. Me, I'm still chasing sunset, still taking the long way home, still saying yes to moments before they're gone. I'm too young to be old, too grateful to complain, too grateful to complain, too busy loving life to spend my days counting age. I'm too young to be old, and I hope I always stay the kind of man who sees adventure in an ordinary day. The wrinkles came, the gray hair too, but they never touched the dreamer that's still breaking through. I'm too young to be old, that's the truth. The sun was setting slowly, the sky was burning gold. I smiled and grabbed my jacket and headed out the door. No destination waiting, no reason I had to go. Just another beautiful evening for a man too young to be old. I was supposed to be slowing down, at least that's what they say. But every year I find another reason to pack a bag and get away. There's a little cafe in Paris sit outside. There's a train through the Rockies I've been meaning to ride. There's a beach in Mexico and a blues bar in New Orleans. The funny thing is, my list gets longer every year, it seems. People ask me when I'm finished. I laugh and tell them this: the world's too big and beautiful for me to call it quits. My bucket list keeps growing like a river to the sea. Every time I cross one dream off, 3 more appear for me. My bucket list keeps growing, and I hope it always will. 'Cause a heart with nothing left to chase is a heart standing still. I got miles left to wander and stories left to live. My bucket list keeps growing, and life keeps giving. I wanna learn a little Spanish, maybe buy a motorcycle too. Spend a summer writing songs with nothing important to do. Take my grandkids fishing, teach them old guitar chords, watch the northern lights dancing from some frozen northern shore. I don't need to do it all, that ain't really the point. It's just nice to wake up knowing there's still excitement in the joints. Dreams aren't just for young folks, that's one thing I've learned. As long as you're still breathing, there's another page to turn. My bucket list keeps growing like a river to the sea. Every time I cross one dream off, 3 more appear for me. Oh, my bucket list keeps growing, and I hope it always will. 'Cause a heart with nothing left to chase is a heart standing still. Oh, I got miles left to wander and stories left to live. Ooh, my bucket list keeps growing, and life keeps giving. I know someday the road gets shorter, that's a truth I understand. But until that final sunset, I've still got plans. I've still got places circled on maps across the wall. And if tomorrow gives me one more day, I'm gonna use it all. My bucket list keeps growing. That's exactly how I like it. 'Cause every dream still waiting out there gives me another reason to smile. My bucket list keeps growing. With every year I see, the more I live, the more I discover how much life still means to me. Another road, another song, another chance to roam. My bucket list keeps growing, and I'm not even close to being done. I grab the mark love good, because the day I stop dreaming is the day I stop living.
Some folks were born for offices, some for city lights, some for building fences and sleeping every night. Me, I always heard a calling in the distance somewhere far. Every horizon looked like an invitation, every road looked like a star. Even as a little boy, I'd stare beyond the hill, wondering what was waiting just out of sight still. Maybe some hearts are anchored, maybe some hearts belong opening and the road keeps rolling on. I was born to wander, born to roam, born to chase the sunsets till they disappear beyond. Born to wander, that's how I'm made. Calling my name, and I still answer the same. With a suitcase full of stories and a heart that won't stay still, I was born to wander, and I always will. I slept beneath desert stars, watched oceans meet the sky, heard strangers tell their stories on long midnight drives. Every town has taught me something, every road has left a mark, every unexpected detour added color to my heart. The funny thing about traveling isn't where you finally arrive, it's discovering new pieces of yourself along the ride. The map is never finished, the journey never ends, as long as there's another sunrise around the bend. I was born to wander, born to roam, born to chase the sunsets till they disappear beyond. Born to wander, that's how I'm made. The world keeps calling my name, and I still answer the same. With a suitcase full of stories and a heart that won't stay still, I was born to wander, and I always will. I don't need a destination to justify the drive. Sometimes the road itself makes me feel alive. Give me an old guitar, a tank of gas in time, and I'll find a little magic somewhere down the line.
still makes my spirit sing. I was born to wander, and that's a gift I treasure most. Not the places that I've reached, but the roads I've loved the most. The body might move slower, but the dreamer's doing fine. Still chasing one more horizon, one more county line. I was born to wander, and I'm not done yet. Oh, the highway stretched forever under a painted evening sky. The radio hummed softly as another town rolled by. I smiled and kept on driving, nowhere I had to be. Because some people are born to settle, and some people are born free. Out by the time I hit 35. Thought success would feel a certain way, thought I'd finally arrive. But life had other lessons waiting just around the bend. Turns out becoming yourself is a journey without an end. I've worn 1,000 different faces, trying to fit the scene, only to discover years later the best one belonged to me. Every mistake taught patience, every heartbreak taught grace, every mile left something valuable along the way. I'm the best version of me that I've ever been. Not because I'm perfect, but because I finally understand who I am, what matters, and what I can let go. I'm the best version of me, and it took a lifetime to know. The young man I used to be will probably be surprised at how little I care these days about impressing people's eyes. He'd notice I'm a little slower, but it also clearly see I'm laughing more than ever now and sleeping peacefully. I don't have all the answers, and honestly, that's fine. I've learned that wisdom isn't certainty, it's peace of mind. The years didn't make me weaker, they helped me understand that strength is being comfortable inside your own skin. I'm the best version of me that I've ever been. Not because time to know. I got a few more wrinkles and a little less hair, but I've got more gratitude than I ever had back there. I got better stories, better friends, and a better point of view. If I had the chance to start over, I think I'd still choose this road. Like a wind, the years gave perspective, the miles gave clarity, and after all this time, I finally became the man I hoped I'd be. I'm the best version of me. The sun was setting softly across the old front porch. The evening air felt lighter than it ever had before. I looked back for a moment at all the roads I'd seen, and smiled at the realization that took a lifetime to reach. I wasn't becoming someone else, I was becoming me.
What a time to be alive. I woke up before the sunrise, just to watch the colors change. The same old sky above me, but somehow it looked brand new again. A bird sang from a power line, like it on the morning air. And for a moment everything felt exactly where it should be. No grand occasion, no special holiday, just another ordinary miracle, beginning with the day. Funny how happiness arrives when you're not chasing it around. Sometimes it simply finds you standing on common ground. What a time to be alive. What a beautiful ride. Still got the fire in my heart, still got wonder in my eyes. Oh, what a time to be alive, to be standing here today with 1,000 stories behind me and 1,000 more on the way. The years can keep on rolling, I ain't afraid of time, because every day above the ground feels like a gift of mine. What a time to be alive. I've danced with joy, I've danced with sorrow, shared a few drinks with both. I watched dreams come true and watched others disappear like smoke. I've lost some people I still miss, I've loved more
still shines bright. The dream is still inside me, and he's feeling good tonight. What a time to be alive. What a beautiful life. What a time to be alive. Woo! The night stretched out before me like a highway made of stars. My old guitar beside me, still carrying its scars. I thought about the journey and all the miles gone by, then smiled toward the darkness and lifted my glass high to the roads I traveled, to the road still waiting, to the road still waiting, to the people I've loved, to the dreams still calling, to every sunrise ahead, to every song not yet sung, standing on common ground. Oh, yeah. I woke up before the sunrise just to watch the colors change. The same old sky above me, but somehow we look brand new again. The birds sang from the power line like it owned the morning air, and for a moment everything felt exactly where it should be. No grand occasion, no special holiday, just another ordinary miracle.
There was a time I thought dreams belong to younger men, the ones with endless energy and decades still ahead of them. I figured somewhere down the road reality would win, and I'd stop imagining what might have been. But standing here today, I've learned something true. The heart doesn't check your age before it asks you to pursue. Some dreams go quiet for a while, but they never really die. They wait patiently in the shadows for the right time to rise. I'm young enough to dream again, young enough to believe that tomorrow still holds something I haven't seen. I'm young enough to dream again, no matter what the years may say, because hope doesn't grow old and wonder doesn't fade away. As long as my heart keeps beating and my eyes can see the sky, I'm young enough to dream again. I know a woman who learned piano at 72 years old. Now she fills her living room with melodies and soul. I know a man who started college when most folks would have quit. Now he's walking across the stage with a smile that won't forget. The world keeps trying to tell us what age we're supposed to be, but dreams have never cared much about numbers, honestly. then somewhere deep inside us, the dreamer still has a voice. I'm young enough to dream again, young enough to believe that tomorrow still holds something I haven't seen. I'm young enough to dream again, no matter what the years may say, because hope doesn't grow old and wonder doesn't fade away. As long as my heart keeps beating and my eyes can see the sky, I'm young enough to dream again. Maybe the dream isn't bigger, maybe it's simply clearer now. Less about proving something, more about living somehow. Less about being impressive, more about being true. And that kind of dream feels stronger than it used to. I'm young enough to dream again, young enough to dream, young enough to begin another chapter, another journey, another beautiful thing. I'm young enough to dream again, and that's a gift I found. The years may slow my footsteps, but they can't slow my heart down. The future still excites me like it always did before, and every dream I haven't lived makes me want to live some more. I'm young enough to dream again. The stars hung over the highway like promises in the dark. I sat there with my notebook and listened to my heart. It whispered something simple, simple, something I've learned is true. The day you stop dreaming is the day you stop growing. And tonight, I'm still growing. There was a time I thought dreams belong to younger men, the ones with endless energy and decades still ahead of them. I figured somewhere down the road reality would win, and I'd stop imagining what might have been. But standing here today, I learned something true. The heart doesn't check your age before it asks you to pursue some dream.